Now, you come into this phase, you got things flowing, but now you seriously need management. Now, this is a phase where you're going to have to make a choice. And as you're growing, your finances is going to tell you need to make this choice. Because you're going to have more finances than you're used to. And on top of it, you're going to have business growth. You're going to have numbers. And if you're the person that's dealing with, especially in the midst of a transition, I did a podcast. We'll probably end up having a link to this where I talk about that transitionary period, transitioning from one thing to another. Maybe you're transitioning from customizable to factory development or whatever it is that you're doing. This is what happens to a lot of people. And a lot of business owners right here are crushed. It doesn't matter whether you have an actual physical product or a service-based product. The transitionary period where it goes from it's no longer in your hands and you got to hire on a team because it's inevitable because you know you can't manage all of this stuff by yourself. You're going to have to hire a team to manage this. Now, there are management services. You can look up management. They will help you with the loaning process and all of this in order to get your equipment and all that type of stuff in order to be able to run said business. What was the one that I was looking into a few years back when I was really interested in building out a business? I think they called themselves Milo Management. I don't know if they're still available now. I don't know if they still do. But that might be something to look into. If you get to that phase where you're going to need equipment and all of this, they will help you with your loan. Because you're going to have to, if you start increasing and you have to switch, maybe you're a fashion person. You started off with the clothing line and now you have to turn that into a better quality clothing line by switching it from the customizable website into an actual factory that makes the clothing for you. That means that you got to pay to have that stuff produced, so on and so forth. Now, yeah, you can go from one customizable company to another customizable company that just has better quality material, but you might want to make that customization very specific. And that means that thing has to be shipped to an actual company. You need to know who are the resources, who are the people that you got to talk to in order for that clothing to be made and manufactured to the level that you need it to be. And then you got to create the inner workings. You need a management company for that. Okay. Next to that, you still got to be able to, you got to create a wall around what it is that you're building, especially when you start making these shifts, because you got to be able to monitor your credit. You got to monitor your business's identity. You got to have financial lock systems around this thing in order to make sure that ain't nobody playing games with the money. You know how many companies, Cash App just got an issue the other week where they talking about a disgruntled employee worked for them 4-5 years ago, went and exposed tons of information, private information for Cash App. I've seen CBS was talking about this, that people may be eligible for $2,500 out of a settlement from Cash App. So you might want to check into that. But my point being, you don't want to be the company that you have a disgruntled employee that puts out all your back-end information. I remember Melissa Ramiro. She had a YouTube channel. She had sponsorships, all of this. Was just about to reach 1 million followers. Her channel looked like it got hacked. What happened is she had a disgruntled employee that still had the passwords to all her systems that said, I'm going to delete her channel. Deleted her entire channel. That's why when you fire folks, change all your passwords. This disgruntled employee ended up dealing with all of this. She had to fight YouTube for I don't know how long, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year to get her channel back in ordinance, recover her channel. That's money lost. She ended up having to create a new channel. She had to create new sponsorships. She had to go through an entire process. You need to protect your stuff. Because Judas exists. And the first thing he gonna want to do is make sure you don't get no money. And you don't need that happening at a pivotal point where you're in the midst of a transition, or you find out about it in the middle of a transition that you hiring on people. Don't be afraid to hire on people. Just, I'm a child of God, pray on it. Because you got to be able to set yourself up, but create a barrier wall around what you just built. Because you don't need that thing. This is why you need identity theft monitoring on your financial account so that you can pay attention. A red alert, you doing the business. If you don't know, if you don't get that financial alert, you ain't paying attention to that because you paying attention. What I tell you happened to me with that t-shirt line. Get to my account. Close the entire account that I needed in order to be able to make money off of the t-shirt line. Protect your outer barriers. But you need to have these things in order for you to have the financial increases that are needed and necessary in order to protect what you're building. Because you have to be able to protect and create that interior wall. And you need to put that, what do you see in actual walls? They put a heat protectant, pink, ugly looking fiber into the wall to protect it from any type of heat. What's your protectant? Do you have a financial service in order to protect you? What you got? What you working with? To make sure that your business that you just spent a year creating, that you just went through all of the processes, you got things right. Now you've shifted, especially to get company stuff done. What you doing? So I'm come back in the next one.